Hey, Nick here from Velocity Trading, and in this video, I'm going to be recapping my trades from today. Really solid overall day for myself, 3 for 3 on the day on my trading, and it's much needed because this month has been very choppy. Still netting profit for the month, but a lot of choppy trading so far in February, especially for us long traders, right? For opportunity for squeezes in the market, in the small cap market right now, has been non-existent, right? Non-existent. A lot of these gappers are getting beat up. APT. For example, today we had tons of examples this week and the prior week, so it's nice to finally have a solid day under my belt here. Uh, so yeah, let's dive into it here. APT, we're on it right here, so let's get into it. Let me pull up a snip here and kind of map out where I was entering here. So over on APT, was entering this play on APT right on these dips, right on these dips, right around here. So it was loading here, right around the 610 area, right. So I added a little bit more here. So right around the 610 area, I was loading APT. Why was I getting involved with APT? APT is a 10 million float stock. Did have news regarding the coronavirus, right? So it's a hot sector at the moment. So seeing a 10 million float stock with news, a catalyst regarding the coronavirus stock. Also, a easy to borrow name with SSR active, doing some good high baseline volume. That draws my interest, and I was looking for this thing on dips if it was supporting, which it was. You can see we got these lower wicks building higher lows, and got a nice rip up here to 640. So got in here 610, was risking over under 10. What I mean by that was kind of risking a candle like this, right? See a candle like this, kind of cracks down below 6 but reclaims immediately, right? I would exit if it broke below 6 and really started to consolidate and stay heavy below 6, right? If it did a wick like this, would still get involved. So I was risking 10 cents here, looking to sell at 640 as my first target. So looking to make 30 cents, a nice 3R trade, which was met here on APT. Was selling some into the pops here, right at the 640 mark on APT. Sold one half, was leaving the rest for 675, 680. We had some major resistance at $7, so was looking to sell the remaining shares right around that major resistance line. And as we came back on down here, you can see lower high, and I think I broke even on the rest. So it's right as my hit my entry, was stopping out on the rest there. So did net profit on it. Sold this for some nice profit, and then the rest I broke even on APT. And let me just click off this right now, and you can see the rest here on APT. Excuse me, you can see the remaining day on APT just pretty much faded all day, right? Opened up, weak volume. You can see it putting in these upper wicks, putting in lower highs, fading, volume slowly decreasing, struggling to gain upper momentum, staying heavy, like to use like term a lot. So APT was staying heavy this morning, and never was able to reclaim, right? We had it on watch, we had a game plan on watch. If we could ever, break above, the $6 mark, base firm up, we would have longed it, right? We would also had a more aggressive entry if we got over 575, put in a higher low, kind of something like this. Could have looked for a starter position and then adding on confirmation. We just never got it on APT. We never got it. Stayed heavy all day and faded. So that's kind of been the story, in this market. These top gappers are getting smoked. All right, let's move on to the next trade. My next trade was on AIM. AIM was a really solid trade this morning. This was my big winner of the morning on AIM. Let me just fix this chart real quick. So on AIM, another stock, regarding the coronavirus stock on AIM. But AIM is a toxic ticker, right? We have a list compiled of the most toxic stocks in the stock market, and AIM is on that list. We weren't eyeing it yesterday, right? Yesterday, the CEO was on Fox Business News, and it did have a gap up yesterday on AIM on high volume. You can see 53 million shares yesterday on AIM, so trading high volume on AIM yesterday. So we weren't interested in it, right? We're being careful on it, waiting for backside, right? Waiting for that backside confirmation, waiting for weakness to show up in the stock, and then attacking it, right? So this is on watch today for a quiet fade as everyone's watching, CPAH, and everyone's watching APT. I'm looking for these easy, these easy stocks to fade, right? Just no demand, no buyers, supply and demand going to take over, right? As you can see today, we are trading 7 million shares, right? Compared to yesterday, 53 million shares. So supply and demand taking over. All the overhead supply from yesterday, now selling. Now our bag holders today, and was entering short on this thing. Let me just pull up the snipping tool. So it was getting short right around this 132 area on AIM. Started in 5,000 shares short, and once we got that that breakdown on high volume here, started to add a little bit more here, getting full size on. Now risking this prior top. Originally my stop was red to green. Once we broke down that 130 mark, had to stop now at break even, had full size on the trade, and you can see nice flush. Beautiful flush here, and was covering all into 105. Was covering, meant to get a little bit lower. Was covering all at 105 on AIM. Why did I cover all at 105? Because this is a big flush right here. I was thinking maybe we got an offering, but no, just a major flush. So seeing something like that, I know shorts are gonna cover. Cover it on up. This was my target too. My target was $1 to 110 on it. Surprised to get it right away. To be honest, I was expecting a kind of an all-day fade, cover it up, maybe lunch hours, but it got gave me that nice flush right out of the open, beautiful. So I don't have to sit here all day, and covered up for a big win. Big win here on AIM. I had 10,000 shares from like a 130 average, covered at 105. Made just under like 3,000 on this trade. It was a beauty. So beauty here on AIM. All right, so that was my second trade of the day. Now I'm getting to my final trade today. This trade was a small winner, right? Small winner, but a good setup, right? Let's go over, this is a good setup on CPAH, right? So CPAH, what do we have here? We have a former runner, right? We like to look for stocks that, when we're longing, that have gone on rips before in the past, or there are stocks that are trading its highest volume day ever, right? So, CPAH, you could see a former runner here, ran from $1 to $4 on this day on high volume. But this was a little bit of a problem. I'll go over why in just a minute here. You could see, on these high volume days, right? Still ripping a good, almost $2 there on that day right there on CPAH. This day 2 to 6, you can see monster run here on CPAH. So it's a former runner. It's it's familiar to go on squeezes. Traders know this name, right? So this morning on CPAH, wasn't starting in early, on CPAH, right? Just kind of came around this news a little bit late. I don't like playing news after 9 a.m. On CPAH. Expected the kind of the newsletters to hit it out of the gate, which they did. I believe we had newsletters hit this out of the gate, right? Stuff there at 350, came back all the way down. You could see putting in lower highs, shorts getting comfy, right? Thinking this is going to be like DTSS yesterday, a newsletter pump gone wrong, and that faded all day. And then you could see, once I kind of started to slowly creep on up, higher low here, volume started to slowly pick on up here, started, getting in here right around this $3 area. So started slowly scaling in right around $3 as we came on up. Started holding these dips. Was starting adding, building my position here. We were still a little early, right? I was kind of saying, the mark we really need to reclaim is 325. I said, you could have two plans on this. You could be really aggressive and get in on a lower high here, or you could be a little bit more aggressive. You're getting in, as we break 3 and start the base a little bit. That's where I got in personally. And then I said if we reclaim 325 and we start to form a base here and firm over this level, we could have a nice squeeze on our hands. And you could see we just never was able to get that base at 325. That would have made shorts really uncomfortable. Even if it was just even if we started building a base a little bit higher, right? Just putting in another higher low, we just couldn't get it, right? You can see as we stuffed here, we cracked that base reform. So we cracked that base reform. So, all these dip buyers who were loading in here, are now, starting to, come underwater. And you could see then we just couldn't really, even form a base now at 3. You could see over, under, not showing strength here at 3. Then we got this fake breakout, right? Big hands, trapping longs, dumping into here on CPAH. So that was kind of the story on this one. It was a good setup, good quality setup. $3 million in float stock, former runner, had a news catalyst. big time float rotation, right? 15 million shares traded on a 3 million float stock. That's something we like. Form this reclaim pattern, this wash trap and squeeze pattern that we like, but just couldn't get that follow through, right? We're still in that market. We're not seeing a lot of squeezes in the small cap market. Another thing that could have impacted the stock too was this overhead supply, right? We had a lot of bag holders, 42 million shares traded, in January. That's a lot of shares. That's a lot of bag holders who are probably stuck there. Now seeing the stock up 40%, they're going to want to sell it to lessen their loss. So that definitely could have impacted us today also on CPAH, right? Combine that with the market conditions, and we couldn't get that follow through, right? I'm not saying it's over, right? Still has a chance. Still has a chance. You're still kind of hanging out around here. 275, that backside line. So once 275 cracks, every long who bought this is now underwater, and it's game over, right? Above that, we could still trap, but right now looking a little weak here on CPAH. We have to really reclaim that 310 area, get over that mark, consolidate, and then we can get a move back on up. But we'll see. We'll be monitoring it throughout the day on CPAH. Overall, on this trade, was pretty happy how I traded it, right? Like I said, was getting in at 305. I did sell some into here at 330, and then the rest I took a loss on. I came out very small green on this trade. Very small green on it. Wasn't any sort of big winner on it. Was leaving majority of my shares to sell over the highs, and close to that $4 mark where we had that major daily resistance. So yeah, that's really it for the recap. Just still swinging SPCE. Really nice trade on this one. Call this one out over the weekend for a swing idea on SPCE. I do have some of the equity at 21, and then I have the options at the 25 strike, so up big on those. Hopefully we get that 25, coming up soon, and I'll look to start to scale out on some of my options, my calls I'm holding, and just eyeing a few other swing names too. Just kind of keeping an eye on a couple names. Watching home. Like how we have this gap to fill. You can see, Billings ascending triangle pattern on the daily. Nice gap to fill here. Keeping an eye on quad, another one, and I like this daily chart too here on quad. I want to see if we can start to slowly fill this gap. And then TCUN, kind of my other one on watch. I see these wicks we like to talk about. Nice daily chart building up here on TCUN. I do like this one. If we get over 450 here, I think we could see a nice breakout over 5 coming on up. So we call these plays out, guys. Every week putting out these swing alerts. I live stream my trading every single day, Monday through Friday. Come check us out. Come try out a free 7-day trial on our website. I'll post a link in the description. And we're closing up soon, guys, on the 20% offers. I think we have 15, 16 slots left. So if you guys still want that 20% deal, it's going quick, guys. So if you're interested in joining Velocity Trading, all that information will be down in the description. And that's going to be it for this recap. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.